And I don't think people use the Minimap enough. Or if they do look at it, they don't look at it and understand all of the bits of valuable information that the Minimap gives you.
Oh, dude, you're preaching the choir. Like, I want to give folks a little, it's like, Ovox, where are you? On your Minimap.
Someday it'll fucking click.
Well, okay.
Someday one and one will
laid
make
a trap
two.
for you because I wanted you to say that because what I want to point out that when I ask you where you are, what that means is I have looked at the Minimap and
Noise reduction will take out you laughing at me under your voice. What's up, Chuck? How's it going, man?
Good, man. How's it going for you?
Well, I mean, as you know, we just got freaking backhanded slapped by a freaking hurricane, man. Another one.
No kidding. I feel like it popped up out of nowhere. I feel like that last one we had like just a tiny bit of warning. You know, it was...
What do you mean we? I wish you were here. You're all the way up and you're in like a safe corner of the United States.
Happened to me.
Hey man, we're co-pods.
We couldn't even play video games for a day, man.
It wasn't just happening to you, it was happening to me.
Yeah.
I was with you.
The podcast was like postponed. We couldn't play video games and yeah.
And then when power finally came back on, right when we were loading into the Warzone, remember we got a couple of kills, and then I saw my screen just go bzzz.
Oh, dude,
black out.
I watched.
And whenever that happens, man, what happened? What happened?
You augured in. You hit the ground like a ton of bricks, and there you sat, like with in this position, the whatever. There you were
pointing up.
You were kind of out in the street, and like you told, I got your message or whatever, so I didn't go try to res you. I basically used you as like a bait, and kind of stood on the side of the road there. And
oh, thanks, Chuck. That's the way to. No, that's good. You had intel.
I mourned for like 0.065, like the time to kill ratio of about a M13.
That's about as long as you can mourn for someone in Warzone. That's how the mechanics work in Warzone.
So, all right, boys, bag up the KIA and let's keep moving.
Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back. And thankfully, I did come back because power came back. Yeah, but that's why you used me as bait, right? Because you knew I messaged you right away because we still had cell signal, so I could text you, "Hey, I just lost power. Hopefully, it'll come back soon." Dude, my question for you, ChukTomahawk, is if I hadn't texted you that I'd lost power and you didn't have that intel, would you still have used me as bait, or would you have saved a brother?
Oh hell no, dude! You gotta basically fight me back from saving you. Like the default is to save. Like you're always like just keep running or whatever. Like I'd rather get a save than a kill, son.
Like haven't you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I am the revival. Like I'm the reviver. Like I'm an old...
The medic.
Corpsman ahead. Like we're all going to make it.
We're all going to make it. Someone is going to get this win for us.
Yeah, you do not leave a man behind. Like it just... Because I don't want to be in that situation where I went the other way. You know what I mean? Like where I was like very, like I could have easily saved you, but like, I was like, meh. Yeah, I ain't down for that. But there are times when it makes more sense to fight first. But
I was gonna say there's scenario. I was just gonna say that, but I also real quick I want to give credit where it's due. Is like you saved me a bunch yesterday, 3 times for sure in one of those rounds, and then the other day, Volkrist, our new squad mate, he saved me like 3 times too.
Yeah.
So, and now that I realize what I'm admitting here on the mic is that I suck. I've been getting rezzed a lot lately.
Dude, I feel like, yeah, here's
I'm
what's
getting
happened
ready,
to
man.
me.
I'm getting ready to join the phase.
You rode my ass so much that like I am doing the things that you should do that you've told me to do, and it's like almost like you've forgotten them yourself or something. What's going on there?
That's intentional noise. That's intentional ASMR. Me smacking the desk.
You got to talk about.
I've been sucking lately.
Who though
I've been
the other
sucking
day,
dick
even
lately.
though I looked across the road and I saw like 3 or 4 of our opponents and they already looked like they were running this way, and I came around that corner and I said, I've been down to revive you, and I said, I think they might be pushing.
Yeah, and they were. That was so funny, man.
I didn't say it at first. Like I kind of like let you get about halfway revived, and I said, I think they might be pushing.
You could just hear the footsteps.
I know
Gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, and even NPCs. This is the New Wave Gaming Podcast. Getting out a quick one post Hurricane Norma, slapping the shit out of me. Chuck, you were just probably chilling like a villain, right? Or no,
right,
you were suffering with me from afar.
I was concerned, but relieved.
Dude, I know. Yeah, thanks,
Now
man.
relieved.
Yeah, I'm relieved too. We just need to get water back, but that's normal. But dude, I don't want to lose momentum. Thanks everyone for joining us for this episode. I really don't remember what episode it is. Probably like
69.
36 or something.
Yeah,
420. But I don't want to lose what you were about to dive into, because I'm sure our fellow PvPers out there have experienced that. We laughed so hard. That was so funny.
Well, basically what I'm doing in my mind, I'm doing a calculation. It's like, well, I'd say Ovox is probably, his gun is empty and he needs to reload. He also is about to stand up with no plates. I also shot a few times before I went around this corner and need to reload, but now I'm reviving. And I'm
Like,
pretty
to revive
sure,
or not to revive?
pretty sure all these guys are running this way,
Well, because they downed me.
yeah, oh yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't mention that part. I got downed, so it wasn't about me like reloading or replating anything.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
couldn't.
sure
You couldn't address it then.
Yeah,
but
I was downed, and I was behind a wall in the building, so there was good cover. But it's very often, and you guys know this out there, you guys and gals know this, if you play Warzone, or any battle royale type of game, like when they down you, the chances are they're coming. They're coming for that thirst. They want to thirst you. They want to make sure you're out, that you're not going to self-res or get revived by another player.
True.
But often too, that's a flip of the coin, right? Because often too, that downed player has backup.
True.
So there's a lot of decision making going on in this moment.
I see
what was
a lot.
hilarious.
A lot of
What was
folks
hilarious
do.
is
There's
the
kind of
decision. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Oh man, no, Chuck, you go. I keep on interrupting.
Well, I was just going to
I'm
say
being
there's a
dick.
middle
Go ahead.
ground too, where it seems like lately folks are throwing grenades and thermites and shit.
Fucking ninja stars now. They
basically threw
You don't
it.
even know
like I've seen them throw it before they down me, like almost as in anticipation of it, and not to mention that they might call it precision airstrike or a mortar. People follow up for sure on that down and shit for sure.
They push the envelope these days. These younger kids, man.
And it's
They're
like,
like, oh, you're gonna take away slide cancel? We'll take this. We'll take this, motherfucker. I'm still a demon.
yeah. Well, when
And we're just trying to get along, and we're just trying to defend the fire department.
This
Okay,
dude-
stay over there.
Yeah, he was so confident he was going to down me that he threw the grenade first. Like that's.
By the time it hits the ground and explodes, he would have already come in for the swoop.
Yeah, so-
that's how fast these guys are moving.
So it's basically like
Fuck,
situation
dude.
bad, and it's going to get worse, and your best
Situation
chance is to run. And it's like I say, I felt like we needed to. We had enough cover to get. It was just a no brainer to go for the save, but like I
Dude,
say, as I was doing
what
those
was hilarious to
calculations-
me, man. What was hilarious to me was, like, am I wrong that you made that call knowing that you're the chance that you I'm gonna go for the save, but, and this is the part that I think everyone has experienced, is that like you do it knowing that you shouldn't. You do it knowing that because the chances are they're coming to thirst the down player, you're gonna get whacked. Because when you revive them, you're vulnerable. Right? Because there's a what do they call it? There's a oh man,
almost like an animation or something like
an animation. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. So it's like I should not be rezzing this guy. If anything, I should let them come out for that thirst and then get them from a position of strength or from good cover. Mm-hmm. But like I knew, like I'm like. When you were rezzing me, man, it's like I knew that we were both gonna die, and I felt like you knew that too. But you are a savior, you have the halo in the squad. You keep the team alive.
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Like
absolutely.
We're both gonna die. We're both gonna die. We're both gonna die. We're dead.
Well, like let's go back to we talked about the first demon. He talked about like the way he did what he did was to know what the other players were doing at all time. And I will say, when I ran across there and looked at the distance, I thought maybe there's time. But as it was going on, that's why I didn't say it right away at first. But as I was kind of absorbing like how much time it was taking, I knew, like this isn't going to end well. But yeah, honestly, though, if you think about it, like I think though, as much as we're trying to win and we play to win, like we also are playing to have a good time. And I also like my immediate thought was when I thought, should I give up and run instead, I thought, man, this is going to be cinematic as hell because it's going to be like right at the moment that it's we get it like it's gonna be close, so I was like, yeah, let's just live that out, like
when I heard the footsteps getting close, I already knew like I knew this wasn't gonna work out, and you have a couple of seconds to like acknowledge that and go, and be like, why this, because you just know it. Yeah. God, it was so funny. I laughed so hard, dude. We had a really funny session yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and then that's our ultimate goal is to have a good time, and ultimately that, in retrospect, we know now that was the way to go for having some laughs. Like, I think it only was funny to you and I, really, because we were the only ones that really saw it, happen. But God, it was funny as shit to go there. But
I don't remember what I said exactly, but I said something along the lines of, I think we both knew that was going to happen or something. And we just started laughing, man. It was so funny because I think everyone's been in that scenario. You go for the save knowing you shouldn't. You got to make the choice.
Yeah. Well, and it seems so, it reminded me of even like that scene in Platoon where the big dude gets hit or whatever, and they're all trying to tell him he's going to make it, and everybody knows he's not going to make it. It's like, it's kind of like, it's a very good simulation. Like the thing is to be like, no, you're going to be all right, man. Like just knowing like, fuck, we're doomed. Like there's no hope.
Yeah, and there's no Medal of Honor in this one. I mean, it might get a little bit of XP.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, Chuck, no one's going to give you a medal for this. You put the syringe into into me to res me, and then they jump over the wall. Just done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then in Platoon, the sergeant comes over and he's like, after the dude dies, he's like, I want you to take a look at this sack of shit. He's like, you fuck up in a firefight, this is exactly what will happen to you.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get down anymore. Lesson learned.
But it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that was funny.
War as hell.
Got a few wins?
That's the thing, man.
Multiple wins.
We have been winning.
Multiple.
We got like weekday wins and like stumbled a little bit like on Friday.
That makes it feel less accomplished.
Yeah,
yes, that's less rewarding.
And I think we had a reality check Friday, but we showed up Saturday and took off.
When they get out of school and they're at home, man, the demons come out.
Demons were out.
It's like, is there anything else that you do except video games all day?
We've ran into
I can't wait for you to have to get a job.
Remember we had those Japanese demons the other day that were those people we were shooting from afar that kept attacking us.
Yeah, and at the end they won.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think we made them sweat for a minute, but they they got the final sweat out of us.
Yeah. Dude, that
And I couldn't even understand. All I saw was a bunch of lines on the screen. I'm like, fuck, I don't know who killed me, but I know it was from Asia, from Japan. I knew it was from Japan too because I saw hiragana and katakana in there, which are two of their alphabets. And then when you see the badass symbols that are super complex and everything, those are called kanji. Yeah, those mean specific things. Like you may have a kanji symbol that means a specific scenario, feeling, or thing, and then they have regular alphabets, I guess you could say, quote unquote, like ours, kind of, where there's specific sounds to a symbol, which would be a letter. Anyways,
jeez, it's complicated.
Point is, yes and no. I'm no Japanese expert, but there's a really easy logic to Japanese once you get some of the basics in, but extremely difficult because there's the other side of that, and it takes years to learn any language, and then there's the kanji thing, which are these symbols that I'm talking about that are much more complex that we're all familiar with seeing. We very often see guys and gals with these symbols tattooed somewhere on their body, only for them to later find out that it means something that they didn't expect.
I like Christ. Or worse.
Or worse, yeah. Toilet room, or, like you don't know what you got tattooed on there. Like, oh, I want you to tattoo courage and passion on my back. And then they end up tattooing like, corn dog and gutter alley or I don't know, some crazy shit. I don't know, I'm just coming up with it. Anyways, the point is I knew those were that was a Japanese squad. Unless it was some kids from like Albuquerque or something that just decided to use kanji in their names. I doubt it.
So yeah, there's no telling, I guess, to be for sure. But man, they were persistent as hell. Like they kept coming. And
oh yeah, I don't know. I think it was Volkers or someone, but somebody shot a couple caps at him, and they're like, "Oh, you want to shoot at us?" Huh? And then that was it. They had a bone to pick.
Yeah, we got a couple licks in on them there and there, but yeah, they definitely won. And it feels like that clown, that big heavy clown like skin right now is the demon skin. That and the Halloween guy with the black hat and the long coat.
I know.
That's the demon skin of choice right now.
Yeah, those are the demon skins of choice. Yeah. That would be a good little like segment to follow up with you every time there's an update. It's like, so Chuck, what is the current demon skin of choice? What is the first line? What is the A1 demon skin of choice today?
Dude, I see that in those golden gun camos, and I'm like, man, like, we've marked the rest of the squad for you. That thing says, I'm like, yeah, oh boy.
Yeah, like, that's the difference between people that will down you and thirst you versus people that will down you, come up, and then interrogate you to find out where the rest of the squad is. Those are the demons, dude. Watch out for those. And golden guns and crazy skins
and movement, like when I see just stupid movement, like I'm just like, God, this is gonna be something. Even when I get them, I'm still like, dude's coming back, and it's gonna be.
It's like, all right, you guys want to play No Man's Sky? Let's build something.
It's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get off this roof. Like,
I'm gonna go find a bathroom in a building in the corner of the map and wait forever. What do I always say? Let's let them. What do I say? Fuck, I can't even remember what I say. Let's let them thin out for a little bit.
I'm gonna go look for a self-revive.
Yeah, just look at the top right of the screen and let it go down. 50, 48, 38. Oh, all right, 26. All right, boys. Let's go get a. No. Let it thin out a little bit more.
Damn, man, it's been.
I am a
fun
quality
lately,
squad mate, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been enjoying it. I feel like I've gotten the right gun at this point. Like it's hard. It changes every season. It feels like there's a new, best practices.
It's always changing, and we should have an episode on that coming up. Maybe when I get back.
Dude, you got a trip coming up to Japan. Like your T-minus short timer.
T-minus short timer coming in quick. Well, hold on. I don't want to get distracted by that because I am very excited, and I'm going to be doing as much gaming related stuff as I can. But you were mentioning how it's always changing up, and we're really, I mean, if you haven't noticed, we're really talking about Warzone here and Resurgence, which is the mode we play, but we've also been playing that new Halloween, the Haunting mode.
All kind of.
And you mentioned that, and there's like two things that like I've noticed is they're always switching it up, keeping like the meta of what it is, what the best loadouts and what the best movements and what the best strategies are consistently changing, especially the loadouts. And they're consistently changing the content of it, like options, like minor adjustments, like game modes. Like in
things we
I don't know on the behind the paywall. Well, there's the paywall side which you've crossed. You've bought the full game, and that's dope. But even for like the free version, like they're consistently updating the modes and the objectives of each type of game mode. And like, you know, right now we're doing this haunting thing, which is super fun. And like I think we talked about this in a recent episode. I was like kind of bored with Warzone. I was over it. You know, it's a game that you gotta really like. Fuck, man, you gotta have patience with it. You gotta be involved. You gotta keep up with it, and you gotta practice, because otherwise, it's torture. But like
taking those spankings,
taking those spankings, and then you gotta wait and reload in the next lobby, and so there's that. But anyways, all that aside, like. They're definitely good at just keeping a fresh playlist going. Like when they dropped this haunting thing, it brought me right back. Like, oh, hey, I'm back. Hey.
I think they're raking in the dough for sure. Because, this whole Black Cell thing that's gone on these last 2 seasons, you got to figure that's almost tripled their. Because I think normally the Battle Pass costs around like 1,500 CP or whatever, those Call of Duty points.
COD points.
And. Now it's got that like level up thing called the Black Cell or whatever, and it's like $29.99 or something like it's like it's basically like you got this training wheel battle pass, or you can have the Black Cell, and like it's got all that, And I have to admit, dude, I feel like some of those guns like are. Like it was kind of a bitch to get that 113 or the M13B or whatever it is, and like I feel like it there's a reason. Like it to me feels like it's better than any gun out there. Almost like it has a little booster or something. More
a little booster.
All of them have their different times to kill, but something feels off on that one feels like OP to me. Like kind of so. It
might be, man, and they might adjust it. Like, do you remember when back in the day of the Warzone, like the first season and everything, how they had the kind of the best rifle was the Grau.
Yeah. And
man, that thing, it was like a laser beam. And I know that word gets thrown around a lot in the Warzone content community. Oh, it's a laser. No, the Grau back in the day was a laser. you put the right attachments on there. Kept it as an iron sights. There was a barrel you'd put on, and then, oh man, that gun, it had a 60 round clip. It was the best rifle. Now, Pepe Tortilla would argue and say, no, the M13 was. M13 was the shit. It was dope. It was, in my opinion, it was right there, just under the Grau. But the Grau was, it's like you're describing, man. It's like what you're describing now with the M13B.
I was
a true laser.
I was around for the Grau, and I remember like exactly like you're describing it. Like it was intense. But the thing that feels different about the M13B is like I almost feel like the aim assist is boosted somehow, because dude, I'm shooting motherfuckers out of the sky with that thing. Like I mean, and from long distances, like people parachuting, like I mean, it just seems insane.
Just imagine your character on the bottom just going, ah, yelling up at the sky. Ah, and he looks down.
And I'm not kidding you. Like it's like I've got a 4-power scope on it, like a so it's a pretty decent zoom, and it is unreal.
Are you using the VLK?
I think it is one of the VLKs.
Yeah, you're using.
No, I want to say it's something else. It's a pretty wide field of view, and it. at first it was kind of hard to get used to close up with it, but like once I got over that, like it being almost like too zoomed at up close, man. I don't know for a fact, but I'm 99% sure I heard there's.
I know for an unconfirmed fact.
There is a headshot multiplier for the M13B, for sure. Like
for sure, but it's unconfirmed.
Yeah, I can't say, like I verified
I'm just making fun of you, dude.
Man,
I just love the way
performance is insane. I feel like you were spectating the other day, and I shot somebody from like downtown like that, like where I was just like, it's like long shots with that thing, and I've always been able to hit people randomly with a gun from long distances, but to get a kill, was just not an option. Like, they could always just, put a shield on or get behind something and it'd be over. But dude, I've been like, if I see you, it's trouble.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh man. It's trouble.
I played a game of solos the other night and got second, and dude, I was just jacking people, and
fully on it, dude. Just full bore.
There's a couple TikTokers that actually cheat and stream it, and it reminds me of that so much, like, cause they just I'm watching a guy that's got like aim assist to the max, like where it just basically puts it on it for him. He does not miss. And he's got where he can see the people too. Like they're marked.
Oh, yep.
Almost just like one of those snapshot grenades is just going off all the time. And he's got some kind of mod with it that actually shows a black square and shows a skeleton that actually shows like where their body's moving at any one time. When he's up close to him.
That's so fucked up.
But when he's far away, dude, you can't even see him, and he's just not missing, just.
It's just. Dude, I've seen footage of that, but to hear you like reference more that it's still out there, it just bums me out.
That's almost how I feel with this gun. Like it just, it feels like it's aiming itself or something.
It might be OP, it happens, but it might just have really good aiming stability and recoil control.
That's true. That's true.
You could, or you might just be a fucking savage.
I finally got zoned in, locked in. Yeah. I feel like I always kind of, give credit to things like that, but like I've almost been kind of keeping that one on the down low.
It's like, how do I tell these guys I'm a fucking beast? Hey guys.
Yeah, I like it.
Newsflash.
I worked my ass off to get that Lockwood, that double barrel with the dragon's breath, and
only to have your heart broken.
It just feels like it's played out. I don't see people using it as much. They must have like.
It might be a vanity weapon, man. Because remember, every time you get killed, you get to see the guy for a couple of seconds killing you.
True, but it has like a time to kill like none other, because you get both those barrels. I did get killed yesterday once by somebody with a shotgun, and man, it's one shot, because it's shooting both barrels.
I have a question. Have you gone online to YouTube and searched best? What is it called again? Lawson? No, that's
Lockwood 300 loadout.
Lawson's a supermarket in Japan.
I have, yeah.
Combini. Okay, the Lockwood. Have you have gone on and researched the best loadout?
Yeah.
All right, fuck. I don't know what to say then, man.
You got to do that before you start leveling it up. Like if I decide I want this choke or whatever, that I got to get this other shotgun leveled up to get unlocked. You got to kind of look into the loadout before you start unlocking shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but that's the way I roll.
Become so pro, dude.
I like that grind part of it. The multiplayer. Where I'm in. We played that shit there for a little bit when it was like that free or weekend or whatever. But yeah, dude, when those growl times were going on, I used to get one of the kill streaks is that Juggernaut freaking suit. My God, dude, imagine that little tiny shipment area, and you've got the Juggernaut, man. You're just. You're just grinding people.
It's buffet.
And I have to admit, anytime I get one of those big kill streaks like that, especially the Juggernaut, there's always that worry that you don't dominate with it. Somebody gets that like 5 or 6 good headshots on you. Like that's the worst.
Yeah. Dude, you're bringing back memories of Warzone of before, man.
Oh, dude.
God, it was so much fun back then. I miss it a lot. I don't know if anyone else out there does. If you miss the original Warzone, what was it, Verdansk? You know, let us know. Like, let us know on whatever you're listening to the podcast on. Leave us a comment or a review, and let us know what your favorite location on Verdansk was. I mean, we loved hanging out. We'd always drop on the TV station.
Yeah.
Because, man, a TV station, there were only 2 ways up. And as long as one person was covering each ladder, I mean, obviously a lot of different shit can happen, but essentially you were covered. God, I loved landing on the TV station, man.
I loved that tower next to it and shooting people on top of the TV station. Like, that was my thing.
I remember telling you, why are you landing up there?
Oh, my God.
It's so dumb. You're a target. And then you'd be like, down somebody. Say what?
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Pros and cons.
There are pros and cons. You're stuck up there. Like, once they see you up there, you're kind of screwed. Like
you're stuck.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. Pros and cons. Speaking of pros and cons, we're essentially doing the same thing on the fire department that we used to do on the TV station.
It's true.
We're finding a place where we can hold down and covering the ingress and egress. Definitely, listeners, let us know where if you miss Verdansk and where you used to land, and we'll shout you out here on the next episode. You can also email us too, ovoxandchuk@gmail.com. ovoxandchuk@gmail.com.
Boo diddy.
Did you have any other favorite spots in Verdansk?
I like the stadium like pretty well, and that the air traffic control tower. Any sniping spot is kind of my jam, you know.
Remember prison? Remember it was up in the corner.
Kind of
we landed
down in the corner there. Yeah,
it was up or down in the corner, but it was in a corner. Yeah, we'd land there a bunch too. Was it called prison? I'm pretty sure it was called prison.
It had like that bottom kind of catacomb like area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss it, but I like the new game, man. I can't say I've been super digging like we've got these boss fight type things in there now, but like anytime we've gone through the portal to those boss fights, it's been just chaos in there.
Yeah, it is chaos in there. It's in, you know, it's funny because yesterday when we were doing that, being Halloween and being like a portal to the underworld or whatever the fuck, dude, I was like, we're literally getting attacked by demons, literally now.
The butcher.
Like, there's a lot of ironicness to this. The irony, you know, these demon players are fucking destroying us inside the portal during the Halloween event when there's demons. Fuck, dude.
While
demons
fighting
and zombies.
a demon and actually,
like, can't we get a break?
I think my assessment, like after action review sort of that whole situation is like a person shouldn't worry about the zombies in there. It looks like there's a shit ton of stuff going on, but the only things that matter in there are the boss and the other players that are in there. Mm-hmm. And I think you can pretty much get away from the zombies on foot, like just moving away from them pretty much. So I think when I go back, honestly, I feel like I'm focused on the other people in there, but it almost seems like we should be like helping each other defeat the boss. Like, should be the, you know, but the other players I've ran into they're hostile. But man, I've been digging the new modes, the darkness, like the night, just the changing of the.
It is cool to play the map in the dark.
Yeah, it changes everything. It's made those thermal scopes like super.
Ooh, they're meta right. See, they're meta right now. Yeah. Like, you gotta have a thermal scopes.
Yeah, I think they're starting to put them in loot boxes too. I feel like I've been finding them more often lately.
Yeah, dude. Every now and then you'll pop open a loot box and an M13B with a thermal scope on it'll pop out. You're just like, oh.
They're seeding that. It ain't happening too well for me. I don't. I kind of see it like you know how it's helping a little bit, but there's also been a couple instances like where the guy was in the scope and I just didn't recognize him as a person somehow. It was weird, like especially like around buildings and shit. Like as long as they're out in the grass,
it's a swamp monster.
As long as they're out like on the mountainside and rocks and dirt and stuff, it really stands out. But when I get in building situations with it there's been a couple situations where I'm literally
you don't want to have a scope at all in a building situation.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, the way to go is have a sniper with the thermal, or without it, and then have a SMG or an assault rifle with a thermal, so that you can use the SMG or the rifle to, like, this is for sniping. This is a sniping strategy. Like, you're on the roof of a building or whatever, you're trying to do some sniping. You use your thermal rifle to locate enemies at range, very far away, because you'll be able to spot them, because it's so dark. If you're looking way down the range to the next building, but it's dark now, so it's kind of hard. You got your sniper, you're looking, he's like, man, I just can't see anything. Then you get your thermal, it'll light up the bad guy, show you where he is, and then you swap weapons, go to the sniper, zoom in, hone in, take a deep breath, fire. And hopefully, if you got the right, circumstances, you'll get that one shot down.
Yeah, that makes good sense. I mean, of course, like when you're like just landed or whatever, you got to kind of take what you got, like or whatever. But
and there's probably going to be plenty of people going, what do you mean, Ovox? That's a dumb idea. Why would anyone do that? There's a much better strategy.
No, I feel you. I honestly, I feel like at one point I was rocking that strategy, and I was using that spotter scope thing to do exactly what you're talking about. Like it kind of, if you're going to go full on sniper, like I feel like that's part of your kit.
But that will give you a sniper glint. And the SMG and the assault rifle does not give you a sniper glint. So it shows you exactly where the bad guy is with no glint.
The actual handhelds, like the L1 spotter thing, is what I'm talking about. It doesn't give a glint, does it?
No, but how often does, you only have that when you happen to have it?
I made a loadout with it. Like when I go sniper.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
I said, like, I've kind of used that same strategy that you're using. Like that spotter scope thing actually has a thermal sight on it. Like they show up kind of white. It's not exactly like the one that's in the game right now, but it shows them like on a gray background and they show up white. And you were talking about spotting them with your thermal scope and then switching to your sniper rifle. Well, I'll carry that accessory to do that with, rather than a separate gun for it or whatever.
Okay, so where I'm fucking up is that I didn't even know that existed.
Oh, really? It does. I didn't know it for a shit long of a time, and I just ended up with it one day and was like, man, this is pretty tight. Like,
fuck,
because I have trouble seeing sometimes. Like especially like some games like Apex Legends. Like I could never see the opponents. Like I think that's one of my favorite parts of Call of Duty is they're pretty good about. There's something that makes the other player stand out just a little bit,
Yep.
Like I feel like I always can see them, like, because man, there's nothing worse than like not being able to see the.
Yeah,
especially
no, I feel you.
Like that skin, that new skin that where that guy's just completely black and his hat is black as well. I think his eyes are glowing or something. That's kind of a giveaway, but yeah.
Well, and anyone on consoles at a disadvantage because we can't really mess with those like nitpicky settings that people on PC can, because if you have a game over display or whatever, you can modify the the screen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of a podcast topic that you proposed, talking about gaming settings.
Yeah. I definitely want to throw that out there for our listeners, dude. You should do your duty to share your settings. I feel like you're really good at it. Like you seem to kind of like just focus on it and kind of figure it out. I feel like being improved from getting those settings from you, especially when we were back on PC.
Yeah. No, I'm setting ignorant, but if it would be a fun topic, but I definitely want to do some research for that one.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting angles out there for it. Like it's almost like there's graphic settings and then there's gameplay settings, but when you're on the PC, it's almost like those things get intertwined. It's like the graphics. They can. It starts to affect your your frame rate, which kind of affects that. Yeah. Yeah, I put that through Chat GPT, and that's one of the things it pointed out. Like, I was like, hey, pretty smart in there.
It's like, damn, are you the 3.5 or the 4.0?
I said, dang. doing? He's right. This shit's scary, dude.
Man.
It's so scary to me. Like, I don't
man.
freak out about it, but like, just shit like that, like where it's like,
What are the best settings for this computer, this game, with this, this, and this? Yeah.
well, and I feel like too, like once I had a calculator, I feel like, when I was in college, I took calculus and some things and learned some math. But like since I've been out of school, I pretty much just let my calculator do that. And I wonder when I'm going to just start letting Chat GPT do the thinking for me. It's like
It's crazy what it's usable for. Dude, what was the name of that thing again you were talking about that you use?
the spotter scope.
Spotter scope.
Yeah, it's a non-lethal accessory.
Yeah. Fuck, there it is. Okay, I recognize it. Fuck, dude.
It's pretty nice. That was early on in my career. Like I said, I didn't know about it for a long time, and I was worried I would have time. With my color blindness and shit's always been an issue for me in games, and so I think I was more worried about it in the beginning, but I feel like Warzone kind of does something that I haven't had an issue with it, like as much as I thought I would. So,
and the key is to always use the Minimap too, and I don't think people use the Minimap enough. Or if they do look at it, they don't look at it and understand all of the bits of valuable information that the Minimap gives you.
Oh, dude, you're preaching the choir. Like, I want to give folks a little. It's like, Ovox, where are you? On your Minimap.
Someday it'll fucking click.
Well, okay. Yeah,
someday one and one will
laid a
make
trap
two.
for you because I wanted you to say that because what I want to point out that when I ask you where you are, what that means is I have looked at the Minimap and have not been able to discern it immediately. And I'm not saying that with a little more time and bringing up the big map and looking for the little dot up in the wheel of the compass at the top of the screen and shit, I couldn't figure it out. But I'm saying, hey, buddy, people are shooting at me, and I need to know now, But you always take that opportunity to remind me again that I'm always on your Minimap.
Mm-hmm. And then that's what I'm saying is you need to practice that so that you can see where I am while under fire. Because I'm always on the Minimap.
I
do. You're always on the Minimap too.
I do, like thousands
not only
of times.
That, but not only are you on the Minimap, but there's a little arrow above you or below you to tell me if you're on the top floor, the bottom floor, or if you're on my floor.
I've never understood that. I do want you to say that again. Like you've told me this before. I'm fully acknowledging, but I've never been able to. And I'm not kidding you. Like there is like a little different in our eyesight. Like, and there's difference in my eyesight from 20 years ago. Like so like I look up there. And, sometimes, especially like depending on which color you are, like if you're one of the colors I see, that stands out like it's supposed to or whatever, I can see you quickly. But I think if you're that kind of orangish one, it kind of blends in on me. And that's what I've said, like amongst the contracts and other shit that might be a similar color, so I'm saying like, I've looked and I can't
I'm trying to take the high ground. I'm trying to take the high ground, Chuck. I'm not going to be one of those guys that gives people special treatment when they don't want special treatment, okay? I'm going to treat you like I treat all of my buddies with the respect and challenge that you deserve. Why would I treat you like a discapacitated person? You don't want that, and I don't want that. I know.
All right,
No,
I can't use this as an
if I'm, let's say I'm some offset blue or whatever on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
You're already going to know that as soon as we load in, as soon as we drop in. You've already looked at all of your squad mates as a savage that you are. You've already looked at all of your squad mates and identified what color each one of us is from your point of view, which may be different than mine. Fair enough. But from your point of view and your color perspective, you've already identified, okay, Pepe Tortilla is this weird color, Ovox is this weird color, so on and so forth. And then because you're savage, you've already associated those colors with the colors up in the Minimap because they're the same colors as they are up on the top bar. So everything you mentioned, from my point of view, it's like that doesn't matter because you have this, or you have this tool and you have that tool. Whether or not they're utilized is another topic.
True. I can't completely deny that. I mean, there is an area of personal responsibility there where I could do it, but it changes every match. So and a lot of times we're doing things between matches there, like running to the bathroom and stuff, and and I pop right back in, and I can't say that I think that way every time, but I should. But I do also want to point out that there are tons of times when you get in a firefight, I look at the map, and I don't ask you where you're at, and I just show up there, like kicking ass, so
saving your ass multiple times.
So that is when I'm practicing doing it the right way. Is my point. Like
I said at the top, you're kicking ass, dude, and saving lives, man.
I have to admit,
out of the last 3 wins that we've got, 2 of them were from your savagery.
True.
1 of them was from mine.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are from you.
Yeah.
You got that one. One of them was a top-down kill. It was really sick, and I don't remember how the other one played out, but it was you and Pepe. I wasn't even, I was just spectating at that point on one of those. But one of them, I got a top-down kill. I was very proud of it.
Yeah,
that was when it was just you and myself, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but so yeah. Hey, we all have room for improvement, eh? Hey. Pros and, what did we say earlier? Pros and cons, Chuck.
There's a tiny part of me that knows
Peaks and
it's going
valleys,
to irritate the shit out of you when I do it, and I just do it anyway.
Next time I'm going to be on the brink of death, the little orange bars going down. I'm about to die, and I'm not going to say anything, and you're not going to say anything. You're just going to run up and duck down in front of me, and before hitting square, I found you, Ovox. I used the Minimap. Save me, damn it! I'm here.
You're orange. You're orange. You're number 1 this time. Number 1 orange.
Are you sorry for being a dick? I'm sorry. Res me. Really sorry.
Couldn't find you. Couldn't remember all that gobbledygook about the fucking which floor you were on.
About the Minimap. Fuck the Minimap. Check about the Minimap. Do you have it in a circle or a square?
You asked me that. Remember my answer was I've had it in a square since 2006. So shut.
I'm sorry, dude.
Dude, why? Here's something else.
Let it out.
I feel like even when we got that victory the other night, what I heard from behind me was, "No, use your RPG."
Is that the one I was already dead on?
No, you were still alive. You were with me. But yeah, which whilst making the thousands of calculations about headshot and aim and things, that was fun to also absorb.
You got to be able to calculate under pressure.
Should I have used my RPG instead?
Oh man,
thanks.
Oh god, that was fun.
No,
we got a victory though.
We did. You
got the blue ribbon
without the RPG, but no, dude, I love that shit, man. It's what makes it so funny. Because I, when I look at the map and I don't see you right away, there's always that moment of well, I could ask him, but I know what he's gonna say.
Oh god,
in times I think about pre-qualifying it, I've already looked at the my Minimap's down. I've actually been hit by a personal anti-UAV.
Oh yeah, the counter UAV thing.
Yeah, I've been.
That'll throw everything out of whack.
Yeah, that's when that might be appropriate to ask. See, so that's why you need to practice answering me and giving me relative information of your location for times that the counter UAV. That's all I'm doing. I'm just toughening you up for those times.
Okay, yeah, you're testing. Yeah. Let's see if he's on his tippy toes right now. Keep him on his feet.
How many meters are you from me, Ovox?
Man, I hope we can. We'll get to play more. We'll get to play a bit more before I head off to Japan.
Dude, it's close. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we can get to play some. It's been fun.
I'd love to. Look, when I get back, I'll report. I'll report in for all the listeners what gaming curiosities I found over there. But
fair enough.
It's a mecca, man. It's the game. It's the what is it? It's the paradise of gaming.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm not sure what I'd do first, but do you have yeah? I guess you have a good idea of your itinerary.
I've literally got an Excel spreadsheet. That's how OCD I am. And I've already prepared a Spotify playlist for the trip.
Damn.
So that like everything I'm doing, everything I'm exploring or checking out, I've got like a cool little soundtrack going in my headphones.
Nice.
So it's gonna be like a movie the whole time.
Well, and so the hurricane, like that's not going to affect any of those plans, right? Like the airport's good and
we're good. Yeah, I think the airport reopened today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like were there major road washouts or anything
There were north of here, but not where I'm at. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely do an episode about Japan. That would be fun, just to, report in with what I discovered, what I observed, because there's a lot, and I don't want to dive into it right now. But there's a lot of gaming stuff over there that's, putting aside Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, or I guess Sony, all of those big companies. There's all that, but then there's so much more, like in the arcades and Akihabara and Harajuku and all these places deep in Tokyo, and also in Osaka and like Denden Town. There's a lot of retro gaming type stuff, let's say. So I'm excited to report in with that. Dude, the only thing I wish is that I wish I had thought ahead and made New Wave Gaming podcast stickers. Or something like that, because I'd hand them out over there and try and maybe get some
hype.
Some Japanese listeners. That obviously they need to be able to speak English, but
is it too late to do that? Like,
yeah, because I have a lot of other stuff I need to do from here to then.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could. Yeah, I feel like a person can do that fairly quickly, but
you got a sticker dealer, bro. You got a sticker connect, bro.
I feel like there's probably some. Like when I was working for Forest Service, I'd get his shirts made, from places, and most of them did stickers too. Yeah, I don't like to say. Yeah, I think the main focus is you're having a good time, and
yeah, if I have an opportunity to tell someone about it and gain a listener or something, I'll take advantage, Yeah, a podcaster, famous podcaster, very not famous podcaster, New Wave Gaming.
Dude, I'm super excited for you. I think it's going to be like a canon moment for you, like a life-changing trip, more than likely.
I think I might come back a little different, but yeah. I'll be looking forward to tell you all about that and everyone else. In fact, I won't tell you anything about it until we can get the mics going and we can and get a pod recording, and I'll report in on it.
All right, deal.
So that everyone else can hear about it from me at the same time. What else, Chuck? Otherwise, I think I gotta head out.
Yeah,
get some stuff done.
Yeah, same here.
It's 3 hours into the future for you.
Fuck. Yeah, I think our time changes pretty soon. Like maybe first week in November. So we'll be back to the 2-hour deal, which I'm excited about. Yeah. But no, I can't really think of anything else. I do know there's a new Mario game that's came out. I'm a little curious about, but that's probably for a future episode to talk about. A little bit of gameplay.
Let's do it. Well, everyone listen, we want to do some episodes on game settings, like how they've evolved over time, because that's a topic right there.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do an episode, Chuck, on the Sega Game Gear because I used to have one.
Yeah.
And if listeners, like if there's any like topic that you'd love for us to unpack and dive into and just get some shits and giggles in with, have some laughs about, let us know. Reach out, hit us up via email or on Facebook, on Instagram. Where else? We're all over the place.
Truck stop bathroom stalls.
Japan here for a little bit. No, our email is ovoxandchuk@gmail.com. ovoxandchuk@gmail.com. And then on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all those places, I think you just have to type in like the website /NWG podcast. So that's it, just NWG podcast, and you should be able to find us. I think TikTok's different though. At TikTok, it's at NWG podcast. So, anyway, you'll find us. Just find that and let us know anything you'd like us to talk about, and let us know if you miss Verdansk and where your favorite place to drop in to parachute in was with your squad back in the day,
and where you are on the Minimap.
And how you feel about Minimap usage. Thank you. Chuck, thank you.